Good evening. How are we doing? Welcome on in, Wasabi. Welcome on in, Wolf. How are we all going? Happy end of the week. It's Friday, and I'm so happy about that. I was just holding on, I'll be honest, to the end of the week. We made it, but it was touch and go for a while there. Welcome on in, Shadow, as well. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. One more Friday, one more week in the Horizon Festival. We've got the Dodge Durango this time to unlock. Yeah, I was just feeling really like the day was just dragging on. I hadn't really slept too well, I don't think. I feel like I haven't all this week. I haven't slept super well. And yeah, it was just a dragging day. I think I got everything I needed to get done. But it's too late now if I haven't. But I've got 2 days to recover and I can sleep in tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. I set an alarm for 10 o'clock, and I'm hoping not to be up too much before that. I can get a good sleep in. Running on fumes? Oof. Well, thanks for turning up, though, Shadow. Are you back at the office today, or do you have today off because you did the overtime last night? Hell yeah. Well, at least you don't have to go back. That's a big plus. 4 in the morning. Oh my goodness. That's a long time. And I mean, particularly seeing as that was only 7 hours ago for you. That's particularly heroic effort. The plan for tonight is driving to Mexico, doing the trial, doing all this stuff, and then unlocking the Dodge Durango, which I haven't heard anything, like I haven't watched any videos about, but I saw a headline for one video that seemed to say it was pretty underwhelming. So I suspect it's going to be another one that I just kind of put in the garage and don't really think about ever again. Which is fine, but I was hoping for maybe a little bit more. Good morning, Inadequate. How you doing? I'm gonna start. Let's start the game because it might be an early finish for me tonight because I am tired. Yeah, definitely collect but never touch. How's everyone's week been? How's everyone week for the, or at least the last half of the week? How did that treat everyone? Hopefully pretty well. Not terribly at least. So do you have exams after the final week of school, or is it just all done for you? Because in New South Wales, I had my final, like, school finished, and then we had like the holiday, and then we had exams after that. Oh hell yeah! I have heard that the Queensland system is a bit more civilized than the New South Wales system. The New South Wales system is really big on the final exam or exams, and I'm just not good at studying. I much prefer to write essays or do assignments than I do to study. Oh, and update on Vod-mander. She's doing fine. She had the surgery last night. She's expected to be home on Tuesday or so. As long as the physio gives us the thumbs up. But she's doing well. That is lucky, Wolf, that you don't have to do much in the way of exams. One of the big pluses about my course at university was I had no exams over the entire 5 years, which which was a big plus. So far, she's recovering well. She's definitely feeling... I mean, she's feeling sore, obviously, because she had surgery, but she's feeling better in, like, her leg and stuff. No exams was so choice. I mean, the assignments were pretty insane. They didn't, like... It wasn't just a... What's the word? It wasn't a cakewalk or anything. But, yeah. The fact that I didn't have to study for things was so nice. Because as I said, I don't think I ever really figured out... Do you want to just take another crack at that message? Can I ask for an example of an assessment? Is that what you're looking for? Super Saloons off-road. Can do. So, for the most part in architecture, which is what I studied, every semester you would be given a project. Well, every semester you had like 4 subjects. At least in the bachelor's. Was it 4 or 3? I can't remember. You would always have a design subject, and then there would be something like a history subject, and then there would be something like another subject that I can't remember. So the history and the other subject were pretty straightforward. There were things like essays and reports and whatever. The standard kind of school stuff, I guess you'd call it. But for the design subject, every semester we had to design a building. In bachelor's, we would be all designing the same building, and then in master's, each different tutorial, each different class would do a different building. Okay, let's not jump into it just yet, Jan.
Welcome back, comrade.
And then, so we do that throughout the entire semester, the entire term, basically. 14 weeks. And then, at the end of it, we would then have to present it in front of both the tutorial group and the tutor, the teacher, and some of their friends, effectively. And basically get graded on how we responded to the brief and kind of how we did as an architect in terms of taking it forward. So that there was quite a bit of work in it. It wasn't just like a cakewalk, as I said, but the fact that I didn't have to study, very nice. Why is that over there? Why is 2006 over here? Not over here. It could be very stressful. But I still think I prefer that to studying. Because I have more time to do it. I can't say I use the time well every time, but you just have more time to do it. I'm tempted by the RS6 Avant. Just to get that Quattro action going on. But a 1 Series Coupe, something like this, could be pretty cool as well, all-wheel drive. You could buy another Cadillac limousine and make that all-wheel drive. An XE, maybe? There's a Lycan Co again. That is a pretty cool car as well. The Nissan Sentra? Is that a Super Saloon, really? Oh, we could do the Camry, actually. That is the kind of the newest car we've got. Let's do that. Let's break out the Camry. I think the extra width will be useful for our, like, tires. Go for the duckbill. Where's the duck butt? I don't know. But yeah, that was basically at least 3 years of my course. Could do that, but let's leave that. Oh, excuse me. The week is just catching up with me. Let's do that afterwards. First, let's get the off-road tires on. Make them super thick. Get some rims on here. Anyone got any exciting weekend plans coming up? I mean, I'm streaming on Saturday night, obviously, so, you know, that should be your evening plans. But, I'm going to the city tomorrow to check out the new train stations with a friend. The Sydney Metro was finally finished, so got a whole range of new stations to check out and stuff. Maybe we turbo it as well, or supercharge it. How is the supercharger less good at launch than a turbocharger? That's whack. Okay, well there's our very, very good car. Yeah, I thought that'd be the case. I guess maybe, practically speaking, you've got, because it's a twin turbo, you've got more power by the time you're actually, you know, you put your foot down kind of thing. Let's maybe think about our gearing a little bit here. That's better. Look, I appreciate as much, like, using those gears as much as possible as well, but if it's just like 6 gears to 200, we could maybe stretch that out a bit. I also have an idea for the livery. This is the first time, I think ever, I've come in to a stream with an idea for a livery. I kind of want to try and make it look... Oh, what's the other paint color? I kind of want to try and... Oh, it's the roof. Paint it as a YCH. So, you know, in like furry art or OC art, how you've got the YCH character in it and it's just blue with YCH on it. I want to kind of paint the car like that. So I think something like that color scheme. I think that color is kind of the generic your character here color. Get those gray calipers in there. The trials are such, like, fickle beasts. I mean, it's because you're playing with other players, right? But you can, some weeks, easy. No problemo. Other days, or other weeks, it's the worst. Wonder if there is anything, like, what if I look at YCH? Nah, I figured as much. Have to do it ourselves. I think the first font is probably going to be the one I go for. Maybe this one. I mean, that sucks. I'm also kind of impressed they were able to flip your car. I have realized that this is an incredibly boring car now, because that's basically done. And I think we can do better than that. We can't phone it in. We've been crushing it artistically recently. Okay, let's have a look at some vinyl. He came back. He got the W. What's in the curated groups? Anything exciting? Anything that inspires us? What about anime? Okay, everyone hold on before the computer explodes. Okay, quick question. Do we consider Venom to be anime? Look, I'll be honest, haven't watched much anime. Haven't watched Venom either, but I thought they were very distinct. That's just impressively shaded. Like the light from, I guess, this on her... What is that part? The lower neck, I guess? And her chin? Just impressive. Up. I learn about anime the correct way, and that is through the Forza Horizon 5 vinyls search function. That's the only way I learn about anime. I mean, Among Us is definitely an anime. I can see that. Iron Man, everyone's favorite anime. Mountain Dew, everyone's other favorite anime. Zoidberg! Yes, Zoidberg. I'm almost tempted just to put Zoidberg on the car. Just don't know what to do. I don't know why I thought this was going to be a good idea for a vinyl, but it's lacking everything. Like, there's not really an enormous amount of redeeming qualities to this. We are in Japan. What else is Japanese? Manga? Oh, it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good to be... Well, it feels good, firstly, to be in the delivery industry. Just helping out folks, getting packages from A to B and everywhere in between. Obviously, being Europe-wide is a huge plus. I've always been a big fan of the EU and the common European trade zone. Okay, I feel like this is even less manga than the anime was anime. We're taking over the market, Shadow, what can I say? Jiao Transportation Solutions is just experiencing an enormous period of growth when it comes to just fulfillment orders and stuff like that. What if we just look up Japan? What does Japan give us? Hopefully nothing like extraordinarily racist or revisionist in terms of Second World War history. Now I definitely have to play European Truck Simulator. Ugh. Oh, getting away from me. Japan and Brazil. Okay. There's just nothing that's particularly jumping out at me. Maybe that's because it's a Camry. Maybe we should go for an Audi. My first thought was to break out the almighty Quattro four-wheel drive system. Maybe I should have trusted my instincts. Maybe we should do that. What else is in your updated trailer pack apart from my beautiful visage? Is there a Shadow Transportation Solutions, STS? Okay, well automatically this is better because it's got wider tires. Does this have a... It does have a body kit. It is pretty obnoxious though. It is very wide, but it is also very obnoxious. Too many frills. But I guess it is very rally in that sense as well, though. We do get a lot worse in terms of launch and acceleration, though, if we do that. But it does just sound cooler. And it is slightly lighter. I don't know why it's... I don't know why it's not further down the eye level. I guess the top speed's really bringing it up. And then we turbo it, no. I'm disappointed you can't supercharge the V10s. Okay, we can only put on that. Put on that. It's been very lovely, like, not weather, it's been very hot weather. But in the area where I work, there's like ornamental pear trees. And they're all kind of losing their... They've flowered and they're all their blossoms and petals are starting to drop off. So every time I walk to the shops to pick up a snack or something, it looks like it's snowing a little bit. It's really quite picturesque. If we do that, we do get that handling that Shadow was talking about before. The only thing we haven't done is a gearbox. Might be more useful. And a diff. So if we come back in here and just take it down to half then. Get a bit more power, baby, out of this engine. So that trailer pack of yours, is that like a local file, or is it something you've put on, I don't know, the workshop or whatever? I think it's gotta be a blue color. Ah, my nose. Ah, for flip's sake. There's nothing worse than going to sneeze and then your nose is just like, no, actually. Sorry, we're not gonna sneeze. I know you thought we were gonna sneeze, but that's not how it works here. We're not gonna sneeze. It's local, but I've made it. Ah, okay. No, well, that's fair enough. Particularly when it is like your lore stuff. I can see why. Germany. Oh, excuse me. Gee whiz. German camouflage? The German police, I guess? Or is it the German football, maybe? Yeah, absolutely. I have been, just like in the background, sometimes just to kind of chill out, I will often just make another, oh. Terrorism or hate speech? Hate speech. Yes. I will often just like make another cover image for a game that I have never even discussed on stream as something I want to stream, but something that I think would make a good cover image. So I'm just kind of I'm coming at it from completely the wrong direction. I have no idea if it'll be good as like a stream game. But as a cover image though, it does look good. I have just no creative juices when it comes to what this car should have on it. I have two, actually, for ETS/ATS. I have one from hold on, let me just move the microphone out of the way. I have one of of like a lady trucker, kind of like this, but looking over the cabin door, and another one where it's just Jow, but in profile, just driving. What did I want to put in here? What if we just put an Audi? I don't think I've put an Audi, just Audi before. M, okay, that's the number one Audi thing. Not sure how that works. But I think I did, like I've shown you the only other one that I haven't used yet that I've shown you is the Hit Fops, or Hit Fox. If I ever get around to playing Hitman. Oh, but I also made a farming simulator one, which was basically just that. Jow standing in front of a tractor, or a combine harvester. I can't remember which. Oh, was there another one? I mean, this is what the search bar says is very Audi core, so I mean, they'd know. I mean, far be it for me to question the algorithm, right? What's the angle? Like 1.9. Muatro. Muato. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Those ones were particularly good because I had that... I spent I spent that really, in hindsight, well spent, but at the time felt very poorly spent afternoon, making it so they moved across the screen, like the backgrounds and the images. TDI. I do kind of want to go back to a GTA at some point. Absolutely. Because you know almost every detail as well. Because you spent, you know, hours slaving over this thing. And sometimes you just can't go, I'll give that a miss, it's fine. Sometimes you look at it and you're like, I gotta fix that. Yeah, you see a fault nobody else sees, and nobody else can see it. Because it must be fixed. Because as it's so obvious to you. Yeah, sure, we're currently... I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just slapping stickers on the side of this thing. We're now a Lexus. Lexus M4 TDI. Just as Mr. Audi wanted, I'm sure. It'd be interesting. It'd be quite an undertaking, I think, though. Whatever that'll do. Can you tell I'm already running out of artistic steam? We do have a big butt, though. So we can put a lot of bumper stickers on this bad boy. Big butt. A badonkadonk. I believe the technical term these days is yat, perhaps? Made in Italy. We'll start with that. If they weren't confused before, they are now. What other... I think I don't know. We need to really... Let's try and really confuse people. Oh, naturally, I hate bumper stickers. Professional racist? Maybe. A800? I mean, it is A800. That does kind of check out. Does anyone actually... well, I have a friend who actually does like spam quite a bit. Which is kind of wild to me. I kind of make a point... It's an easy one to achieve. That if it's like a war ration, like spam, I'm gonna try and avoid eating it. Outside of, you know, war rationing. Apparently it's got a big following in Asia. Vote Dent. Vote one Harvey Dent, everyone. He's the only candidate that will fix Gotham. The other game that I do actually really want to play, and something that is surprisingly contemporary for me, is the new Space Marine game. That looks sick. And apparently it is sick, too. Oh, we got a honk if you heart cat, boys. We can cover a little bit of Italy. Yeah, boys, where? And the New York Yankees. That is a good bumper. I'm looking forward to looking at that for the next couple of minutes. I definitely won't regret the decisions that have brought me to this point. Oh, we do just got to do the tuning first, though. The car drives as good as it looks. Yeah, we can probably take that back a little bit. Be a little bit optimistic going to 400 kilometers an hour. It is also good because we have a lot of ride height, whereas the last one we had like 5 centimeters less.
More power, baby.
Well, we've broken the tachometer, unfortunately. But sacrifices have to be made for victory. Oh wait, it's in here. The trial. That was really quick, actually. I watched someone, actually just thinking back to what we were talking about before with ETS, I watched someone play ETS on YouTube the other day, and they were driving, they had it modded, and they had a Skoda Superb as their car for a bit. Unfortunately, they couldn't tow anything, or at least the trailer they were trying to tow wouldn't work because the Skoda was so low that when they were pulling it, it just kept getting caught in the road and flipping the entire car. But it seems like there's a lot of mods. The other game, actually, came to Game Pass just this week is, what is it? Expeditions, the Mud Runner spin-off, I think. I think it's Mud Runner. Oh, the Skoda's an official part of the truck. Ah, interesting. Only 2 people were sensible and went for the Quattro all-wheel drive. They're not sending their best to the Forza Horizon trials, it seems. They're sending the best AI. Only one event, though. Interesting. Only one wagon. With the... But... Now that is very impressive. Ow, ow. Ow. Yeah, I'd probably end up going through the Steam Workshop or whatever, or Nexus Mods or whatever it is, before I did the stream, and just make sure I've got some quality of life stuff on it as well before I started. I'm normally one who will try and play the game stock first before modding it, or at least I like to think I'm the one that would normally do that. Ah! It's particularly uncool for one of the non-player cars to be, sorry, for one of the player cars to be red. Because my first thought was not to blame human stupidity, but the AI, when that guy crashed into me. Apparently. And shoulders. They're just like ramming into me. They're shoulder charging me out of the way. Excuse me, wagon coming through. Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to comment on that. And how you're going to fall on that topic. Because on one side, favorite car. On the other side, maybe not the way it's meant to be used. ets.it.en. So it's an Italian website, I guess? .it? Wow, it's got a lot of mods for those kind of games, huh? Well, I'm glad to provide the satisfaction. Adequate. It was maybe a little less satisfying to drive. The Super Saloon's a bit large for this kind of rally stuff, so there's a lot of biff. A lot of fisticuffs. I'm sure you can, but can you import a custom image for the driver's license picture, Shadow? Because I know there's a lot of creepy looking old men you can put in as your driver's license image, but can you put, say, a jowl face? Okay, well we're off to a smashing start. Is World of Trucks like the ETS website or whatever? Thinking about it, the real thing that they did... Oh my goodness, it's linked to external jobs. Hey, it's like the... What is it? The Gran Turismo Championship stuff they do, where you can get recruited into actual F1 teams. You're really good at delivering this package online. How about you deliver this package online for us in real life? Actually, I should have driven the Alfa Romeo Giulia. No one in their right mind would have driven the Alfa Romeo Giulia in this. Like, I should have done it. Don't you dare hit my Lexus friend, because I am also a Lexus. Oh, it's a circuit, I forgot. Well, yeah, you gotta use these really, again, really wide hips for something, right? Ow, that's a wall. I was just thinking it could make a lot of sense for ETS and ATS if they were like cunning to make a crew competitor. Like, they've already got a map of basically all of Europe. At least all of the highways and A-roads of Europe. If they just fleshed it out a little bit in terms of around the city centers and stuff, I could see them making a pretty good, like, large-scale open-world game. Racing game. And conversely, Ubisoft missed the trick by not, trying to end up in the truck simulator market with the Crew and the Crew 2. You know, partner with FedEx or something. You can also tune into internet radio stations on ETS, can't you? Yeah, that sounds cool. You can probably get some really deranged stuff on there. It's so weird how you say that when it's like, isn't that just what you do for a living? You come home and then you do that again? Oh, there goes third place, probably. Yep. Ow! Lexus, I defended you before. Oh, that was bloody close, Joe. Have you ever pulled over onto the side of the road and just done some more? Like, logged into ETS? At the rest stop or whatever? Winner winner, chicken dinner. I need to study the road up ahead. I know. Yay, another BMW M2. What am I doing? I am checking this. Euro Daily High Performance. Oh, Euro High Performance Daily, sorry. That was... I haven't played it for a long time. But that was definitely one of the best parts about, like, city skylines or whatever, seeing the world that you make be used. I need a car to get places quickly. Just seeing like the way that the citizens interact with my city or whatever, or even in The Sims, you know, seeing how like your Sims interact with the house you just built, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of reward there in seeing it work just how you thought it would. And with City Skylines, to be honest, half of the fun for me is just like a model train set, you know, just setting it up and then just watching it run.
You have arrived at your destination.
Oh, interesting. I think I'd probably just start without that, because I think I'm going to have enough trouble reversing the trucks as it is. Once I've figured that out, we can go about adding in more difficulty. As far as I can tell, like, much of Euro Truck much of Truck Simulator is going to be pretty straightforward. The only thing that's really going to be difficult is the parking, or just reversing in general with the trailer.
Turn right. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Yeah, that too. So what you're saying is the European Truck Simulator AI is actually from America. Because from what I've heard, Americans just do not understand roundabouts at all.
Turn right.
Okay, let's see what a high performance daily is according to the game. We could break out the Julia Quadrifoglio. It might be tempting. Let's break out the Julia. Break out Italy. I think I do have, at the time when I bought it, which is probably almost a year ago now, if not more, I think I bought at least a majority of the map expansion areas. I didn't particularly care for the trailer or truck, you know, liveries and extra truck and trailer models and stuff like that, but I figured the DLC that would be most worthwhile would be the additional map areas. And I think I got a majority of them. I feel like I remember one being less on sale than the others, just because it was newer, so I can't remember if I acquired that one or not. but I also can't remember what that one was. Okay, we're a little bit understeer. The glass is fine, don't worry about it, guys. Greece, interesting. Well, I imagine like the Adriatic / Mediterranean coast would have a lot of windy roads as you go down from those rather high mountain ridges to the coastline below. Ow. I'd be much more interested in getting in like a Ukrainian DLC, to be honest. I mean, obviously there's a lot of roads and stuff in Russia and stuff like that, but they can, you know, not a fan of Russia. Oh, Iceland would be very interesting. Just because I can't imagine there's much of a road network over there. Norway with all, well, I mean Scandinavia in general, but Norway as well. I imagine there's a lot of fjords and very windy roads to get around all of those. Ow. But yeah, absolutely. I would love to try and drive from like Aberdeen to Istanbul, at least. Yeah. Or maybe not Aberdeen. Maybe somewhere like somewhere equally as far but still on the continent, so you don't have to take a ferry. Like maybe what's the capital of Portugal again? I know this, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Or like Madrid or something to Istanbul. Or Copenhagen to Istanbul. Portugal's capital is Porto? Lisbon. Lisbon to Istanbul. Actually, no, because there's a tunnel that connects Denmark to Sweden, isn't there? Tunnel / bridge. So you could even go from like somewhere way up north in Sweden, and then drive all the way down to Istanbul or the bottom of the boot in Italy. Yeah, buddy. Oh, good stretch. Get Alfa Romeo, idiots. Big stretch. Been a big stretch kind of day, inadequate. Oh dear, as you can tell. Like I was a lot of stretches at work. Okay. That actually felt a bit more like a stretch. I'd love to know like the physical reason for why, like, you know, doing a big stretch does feel so good in terms of like waking you up or whatever, making you more alert. So we're definitely a little bit slower than the others. Guess so. I mean, that makes as much sense as anything I was going to say. Wait, I think all of these guys in front are all-wheel drive and all the guys behind are rear-wheel drive. Okay, that went well. Well, except for the M2, obviously. Ow, that went well. Fridays, am I right, guys? At least it's Friday, though. You've got a Saturday tomorrow, and hopefully that means you can get a little bit of a sleep in and then good. Get out of the way, Italian coming through. Willing and ready to receive the massage. I mentioned before, I've never had a massage, I don't think. Outside of like a physiotherapist. It's just never something that particularly appealed to me. I know, like, I'm pretty sure Shadow, you're a big fan.
Who likes good news, everyone? Then good news, everyone.
Welcome on in, Alpha Turi Wolf. I'm glad you like what you see. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. It's just never, like, my brother swears by them as well. It's never something that's particularly appealed to me. I'm not entirely certain why. Maybe it's symptomatic of some sort of fear of intimacy I have. I don't know. I think it's... I've never really particularly felt that, tight, you know? In terms of, like, you know, tight shoulders or whatever. I don't know why or how. But I've never felt the need for a massage. But then again, maybe because I've never had a massage, I don't know what that need feels like either. Lots to think about. That was not an awesome J-turn game. Quit lying. That was satisfactory at best. So while we're here, let's just have a quick look at this. Yeah, this looks like I've been here. Still doesn't feel that great though, unfortunately. I can see that. I can see it could be very useful for that kind of thing. Oh, a teeth grinder. I don't think I'm a teeth grinder. At least my dentist has never mentioned it.
Arrived at your destination.
I mean, it's a good game. I think it's still probably the best in the best out there currently. As always, Shadow, I appreciate the self-censoring. How are you doing, Alpha Turi Wolf? How's the week treated you? Okay, we definitely lack a little bit of get up and go. Well, that's why you need the massage. But you're so tense from self-censoring. Sorry. Sorry. Is there any kind of, like, fraternity, I guess, or, you know, collegiality in terms of truckers, Shadow? Is it like the movies where you're on the radios and talking to each other and stuff? I don't know, is there any kind of, like, I don't know, team spirit amongst the world of truckers? I'm not entirely certain what I'm asking. Like, are you on the... I don't know, do you have a radio in your cabin that you're on all the time? Talking about how there's cops up ahead, or... I don't know. Other things. The weather. You're an Englishman, that's something you talk about. Whether or not you saw that ludicrous display last night. Win. I know there are, like, at least in Australia, particularly for what we're... I'm sure it's something over there as well. We call them grey nomads. They're basically people who just live in a caravan or with a... caravan or in a Winnebago or whatever. And drive around the country and don't really live anywhere. They're nomads. It's not uncommon for them on their back of their vehicle or whatever to have, like, UHF, this channel. So there's definitely some sort of, like, underground network of, I don't know, old people communication.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Now let's get into something fast again. Something fast. That's not as fast as I thought it was. What was the one I was in before? This one. Hi, do my back doors look big in this picture? All bets are off. Do you have a company policy of trying to run other company trucks off the road? Do you like try and come alongside them and, you know, throw grappling hooks and then board them to try and steal their loot? I think these ideas could really add a lot to the trucking / logistics world that is lacking.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Like, let's add a bit more excitement, let's add a bit more danger to the world of overnight shipping. Yeah, I only encountered that when I was watching that YouTube channel I was talking about earlier about ETS.
Turn right.
It's I don't think our trucks are limited at all, but I'm not sure. I think the EU trucks are limited to, I feel like I remember him saying 80 miles an hour on an EU road, but it might be wrong. Maybe it was 56.
Turn right.
Sounds kind of like 80 Ks, but not quite.
Turn right.
I mean, 80 miles an hour is plenty fast.
More power will go. You have arrived at your destination.
Oh, hell yeah. Why not? Get some speed in you. No, I mean, because while you might be able to get up to, you know, 80 miles an hour, you're probably not going to be able to slow down as quickly as you'd like. Oh, we could break out the new Ford Fiesta. John Cooper. The Minions Renault is another good choice, obviously. I'm feeling like... No. I'm not going to stop easily or quickly. Maybe the rear-wheel drive Fiesta. Let's try that out. See how bad that is. I'm surprised there hasn't been like a, Actually, now that I say that, I feel like I've seen a trailer for something like this. A trucking game that's set in the Mad Max universe. So you're going from like warlords' forts, you know, taking water to Petrol Town or whatever. But you're also having to like fend off bandits or what have you. I haven't seen anything like that, but I have, now that you mention it, I have seen, as you know, I take an A road of sorts. No, I think it's an A road. Yeah, one below a highway to work. And it used to connect to two motorways. Like, that was the primary way to get between motorway A to motorway B. But since, like 3 years ago, they built a tunnel. But one thing I've noticed now that I'm driving on it for a longer stretch is about every week or so, there's a convoy of trucks, all from the same company, and a camper van from the same company as well. And I feel like they're transporting something particularly secure, like maybe explosives or something. Because to me it looks like it's a kind of truck that doesn't really stop, doesn't go underground, either because it can't be tracked properly, or because it's something that you don't want to have underground. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a special cargo of sorts. I imagine those drivers are like the top guns of that trucking company. I can't imagine they're giving it to like Paul First Day or whatever his name is. Freddy First Day, there we go. That's got the alliteration that we love so much. But yeah, it does have a little bit of a plot thickens to it, which is nice. Nice to have a little bit of mystery in your life, you know? Though I don't think I've ever encountered them going in the same direction I'm traveling. They're traveling south, whereas the last time I saw them I was going home and traveling north. I have seen something similar to it. I think I saw an article on it a while ago. In America, FedEx offers something like super secure transportation, where everything's like quadruple GPS tracked. I think they've got like armed guards in them, and it's got a similar thing where like they swap drivers, and the old driver gets in the camper van, and the new driver gets in the truck, and they keep on going. Like they barely stop, kind of thing. And to me, the kind of convoy I've seen speaks to that as well. Yeah, sensitive loads and stuff. Maybe, I hadn't thought about gold bullion, but it might be something like that. I don't know whether they'd be taking it though. Because the mint, the Australian mint, I think is south of where I am. That's in Canberra, I think. I think we've only got one in the nation, and I think it's in Canberra. So that would make a bit of sense, actually. As a plausible explanation. But then I'm not sure entirely why you wouldn't go in the tunnel.
Turn right.
It must be something to do with the inability to GPS track it.
Turn around when it is safe to do
Can't
so.
we? Ah, that road's on a bridge. Could have shown that better on the map game.
200 meters. Turn left.
Look, if I was a logistics company, I would take a note out of the Italian job, and I would exclusively deliver my gold bullion in Mini Coopers. It worked for the Italian job. Where did the Italian job go wrong? When they got in the bus at the end. So you don't want them to get into a big vehicle, you want them to stay in small, nimble ones.
You have arrived at your
Like Mini
destination.
Coopers. Morale goes up even better. That's another perk. High morale, that's good. You want high morale in your gold transporters, because if they got low morale, they're going to take your gold. You want them to like their job. Well, that was one of the newer minis, though. Well, the older new minis now, I guess. Ideally, I'd want a new old mini. Yeah. One that isn't owned by BMW. So it is actually properly small. Yeah, like a 65 mini or something. I'd have an army of 65 minis, each delivering an eighth of the gold that a normal truck would. But we'd depart from the rest of the Italian Job movie, and we wouldn't have a pervert as our IT guy if we can avoid it. Which is a weird part of the Italian Job film that you kind of gloss over, but Benny Hill is in the film basically playing the Benny Hill character. He's a philandering IT guy. And we'll give that part a miss. I think they didn't quite accurately describe that, but I think the actual logistics part is pretty accurate. Like, if you think about it, if you're in like a place like this, an old kind of 1800s city, it'd be so much easier to deliver stuff in old minis than it would in a big semi-truck or a like a money bank truck thing. Forget about it! You didn't see nothing! Hey, bada bing! Hey! I'm walking here. Damn it! This car does not turn well. We might have to look at the old tuning menu after this. This is definitely a brake and then turn kind of car. Because if you do both, then it's just like, I'm not going to actually do neither, if that's all the same. And it's really not. You didn't see nothing. Well, that's the other side of it, because obviously the minis have to have drivers. So we get the drivers trained by John Cena in his techniques of invisibility, which they will hopefully then imbue onto the vehicle itself. thus rendering the entire operation impossible to detect. Just have a sign on the back that just says, "What are you looking at?" Or what you do is you pair them up with another car. So you have the transport car, but then it's kind of adjacent in traffic, not necessarily side by side, but somewhere around, you have the distraction car. And the distraction car doesn't actually move anything. It just moves people's attention away from the Mini Cooper with the cargo. So maybe the distraction car is a Ferrari and everyone's like, ooh, a Ferrari. Or maybe the distraction car is a flatbed truck which has a wrestling match going on in the back of it or something. Or maybe the flatbed truck is just a truck with a lot of TVs playing Family Guy funny moments, and we all know that that will retain everyone's attention. Yeah, maybe it could have a selection of vinyls with Fox McCloud and Crystal ripping fat bong rips. Things that really will like draw the eye away from the Mini and help people to forget that they saw it. Look, I'll be honest, I think we can go to like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den and get some money. Because this is a pretty foolproof. Well, that too, you could have like, be it the donut van selling donuts or like a taco truck that is actually operating as it drives along in 60k traffic. As a kind of drive-through of sorts. Like they'd have to be in a seat-belted seat though. But outside of that, I don't think it's illegal to...
You have arrived at your destination.
Is it illegal to transfer an object from one car to another? While you're driving? I don't think so. I mean, it's probably frowned upon, if we're honest. But I don't know if it's explicitly illegal. Is the barracks becoming a criminal enterprise? It depends who's asking. He says it all entirely above board. We're just moving money for people that have hired us. Nope, I didn't want that. I wanted this. What's the go in here? Why is 5th gear always a bit busted? Okay, that might be why things are feeling a bit funky. Probably one of many reasons why things are feeling a bit funky. Yeah, there's the other reason. Yeah, drive-through style headsets. Oh, I forgot. When I went up to the mountains 2 weeks ago now, as I mentioned, where I found the baseball cards and what have you, there was an old second-hand antique shop, and they had like really old looking headphones. I'm talking like Second World War bomber looking headphones, which had it had, you know, the larger, not the 3.5mm jack, but the larger version of that. It terminated in one of those, and I was like, that could actually work, assuming that the speakers in the headphones work. But I could actually plug that into something modern. I was very tempted to buy them. Austin Powers themes played? Maybe. What theme would it be? I mean, I have a feeling that Shadow will be voting for the Knight Rider theme. I mean, in the minis, it is pretty perfect. It is kind of surprising that Austin didn't drive a mini, actually. Oop, just made it. We used all of the road there intentionally. I wish you the best in your fight against capitalism inadequate. May your sacrifice not be in vain, comrade. Yeah, it's too serious. I'm trying to think what would be a good theme. I mean, the Thunderbirds theme would actually be pretty pitchy. There's a YouTube video, I believe it's from an older Thunderbirds movie, where it's played by a military brass band and stuff. It sounds so fine. The Thunderbirds theme played by like a proper military brass band. I don't know if I know Snake Ladder. At least I don't know it by name. Because now, unfortunately, I'm just thinking about Thunderbirds. Dun 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 dun. Okay, well, we did the championships and the trial. I think we got the car, the Durango. Hooray! Oh, is that the one where he's climbing up the ladder for like 5 hours? Yeah, I know that one. Okay, I'm gonna run some ads for a second. Go to the bathroom. Get a drink. Go to the bathroom. Live a little, you know? I'll see you back here in a bit. Alright, we're back. We got the Durango. We got an Audi RS5? I guess we got that from doing that. Yeah, okay. Let's try and do an event lab. Okay, well, looks like we're not doing event labs. I've had a really bad time of trying to do event labs this season. I mean, we don't need to. We've got all we need. So, that's the important part. Can't access the shop, though. There we go. I'll have a look at that later. Oh, Gotham Event Lab would be sick. Good shout. That's right, this hide and seek's coming to the game officially. That's kind of cool. Can I access the event labs through here? I just can't access the ones that is in the playlist, perhaps. The Tower Challenge map. We've seen all of the other ones on here. Let's have a look at the tower. Or even, what's he Bay? Paradise. Is it Paradise Bay in Underground 2? Just any of the Underground, that kind of era of Need for Speed would be sick. That same guy who I saw play Euro Truck Simulator was also doing a playthrough of Underground 1, just driving the Peugeot 206. And that's made me want to, A, do that, and B, also want to have a look at Underground 2 again. Damn, Alpha. You're grinding out those tracks, huh? What is your go-to kind of track to make, out of curiosity? Is it like a city track, or is it like a dirt track, or a stunt track, or something in between? What's your go-to? I realize this is probably not the best car to choose for this kind of undertaking. Okay, let's... Is there a way to rewind? Parkour! Oh. Hold on. Reset car position. C. Okay, this time with more parkour. Like a glove. Ooh, so close. I would probably not. Okay, hold on. We completed that, so I'm just gonna say we can drive on here now. Come on, flip over, you bastard. I think what we need is we need an all-wheel drive Mini Cooper. Something small. Let's give that a... We'll give it a nothing, because I don't know what it's like yet. Oh, interesting. I haven't even thought about using Hot Wheels, but that makes perfect sense. I want something small, but quick. So I'm thinking, like, something from the mini catalog? Like, something like that would probably be really choice. Yeah, Pocket Rocket. That's the ticket. It has to be all-wheel drive, because we need to get up to speed quick. Maybe something like that. A Pulsar GTI R. 10 launch and 9.8 acceleration. The other thing is... Oh, wait, hold on. What about a Peel? Okay, what about a Peel? Let's open up the event first. And we can choose in the menu. But something like a Peel could be almost perfect, perhaps? Strangely? Okay, it goes up to X Class, so we can basically choose any car we have. The other car that could be good is this. The Audi S1 that I have that's kind of a meme. But is also just nuts fast. S2 Isetta or Gremlin? That also sounds really funny. I've only got a D-Class one. Alright, we're going to the garage. We shall return to Mexico. But we will be back. With an Isetta or a Gremlin. The 177. Do you say 177 or 177? Like, do you separate the sevens? I think I say 177.
Welcome back, comrade.
Okay, BMW Isetta? $177 just doesn't quite seem like the right thing to say. Yeah. This is a pathetic Isetta. It can probably barely go 200 Ks. What a pathetic excuse for a car. Okay, we're gonna need the thickest tires you've got. Yeah, 155. That's exactly what I meant. On all of the corners. Look, we can afford to go slick tires, I think. Interesting, because I think I would say 3008 for that one. But I can see where 3008 comes from too. And it does sound pretty cool. So we're going to have some bitching rims. So we might not be the fastest, but I mean, we will be, obviously. But we will definitely be the coolest. I don't know if we'll need rear downforce. So I think we can just do that. We're definitely going to need a brake. While I will put race suspension on, I think I will actually lift it up. So it's not quite so low. Oh yeah, I need to change the bike engine too. Thank you for reminding me. But definitely going to need a roll cage. Like 100%. What do we go turbo rally? That's cool. Maybe we do go the motorbike engine. Race transmission. Race diff. Yeah, that's got the Arcetta. That's got an Arcetta written all over it. Backfire coming out of like a straw-sized exhaust pipe. Gotta get an intercooler on. No, we don't. I do. Hold on. This is what? This is 811. This will be 821. We did that and then did this. That really increases the acceleration. Top speed gets pretty tanked for some reason. Despite having an enormous amount of torque and horsepower, top speed is nothing. Ultimately, that doesn't particularly matter, I guess, for what we're doing. We're not exactly looking to drag this bad boy. But I think the motorcycle engine is actually better. This has definitely got a bit more get up and go in terms of like acceleration and launch. And I feel like it also sounds more accurate to how I think an Isetta would sound. This literally has 20 times the kilowatts that the old one did. We currently have 205 kilowatts, the old one had 10. That'll do. Native reduces understeer and increases cornering grip. So I think what we want to do is have no camber at the front, and then we'll just have excessive camber at the no camber at the back and excessive camber at the front. I think that's probably the perfect car we're looking at right now. And given what we're doing, we might want 7 degrees of caster. I feel like we want to go like 23. Because there's all those bumps and stuff, so I feel like having a kind of clearance over that is good. And we definitely want a lot of downforce at the front. I can see that we might want to brake quickly. Death Trap, this is the best German engineering. This is going to be safe as all get out. There has never been and will never be a safer car. I can't paint the car's hood, that sucks. Hold on, what's the paint group 2? Yeah, we're just going to do a bit of weight reduction. What does this look like if we shade it white? It looks fine. Gonna save a bit of weight. Get those JMS calipers in there. I would put on tinted windows, but I think you'll want people to know that you're driving this car. G'day, Wing Wing.
Who likes good news?
Thank you for the follow. I just wanted to make sure that was you.
Then good
Glad you like
news,
what you see.
everyone.
Welcome to the barracks. How's your week been, Wing Wing? Alright, let's see if this car is actually drivable in a manner. Okay, so here you are. You're inside your new Isetta Type R. Okay, I'm impressed because it doesn't... The nose doesn't rocket up at launch, so that's a pretty big plus. This might actually be good for what we want it to do. It's fine. We'll say it's a work expense. Ow, rude. Taking a lift over a building, damn. How do you even go about doing that? I got back to work from like 2 weeks off on Tuesday, and I've been working. I had a full week otherwise, and I already feel like I need another vacation. It's rough. Stream is going well though. Stream is going very well, and evidently I'm doing something right because you turned up, and Shadow hasn't left yet, so we're doing well. Alright, let's see if we can get up this challenge tower in our custom-made challenge tower car. I'm feeling good about it. We've got 5 degrees of camber at the front for no good reason. We've got 200 kilowatts of power in a car that can't weigh too much more than 200 kilograms. Detail view... no, I don't want to filter. Toggle stats. Yeah, 500 kilograms. Damn. That's like a third of a kilowatt to a kilo. Oh, shucks, Shadow. I'm just gonna have to take a screenshot of that to add to the compliments folder. Thank you. One of these days I will put together a blurb with like all of the kind of kind words in a vain attempt to A, boost my self-esteem, and B, get some new viewers in here. The Zhao blurb is growing. It's going to eventually be like a Star Wars crawl. Okay, we're going to get some precision driving going on here. This could actually be a huge problem for us. I hadn't thought about this. Come on, camber! Oh, that's not fun. It's always nice when the boss is away and you get delegated with stuff. Okay. So I forgot about this when we designed our custom-made challenge car. Well, let's just try the loop-de-loop, see if we've gotten anything right with this vehicle. Like a glove. Okay, we got that right. Oh, and thanks to our camber and caster, we can take these corners so well! I got confident. That was my mistake. No worries about typing too much. Wingling, that's fine. I'm just impressed that you can take a lift out of a building. I didn't really think that was... I mean, I guess I thought it was possible, but... my assumption was right in what you're saying. It was really hard. Okay, that's far slower than it should have been. We're going to get up there a second time. We did it once. We've already proven that this car is perfect. Welcome back. Congratulations on defeating capitalism. This is the Assetto. Oh, we did too well there, actually. We're doing a challenge tower where we have to get to the top of that through a selection of challenges. Imagine like Wipeout, but for cars. That was a great show, Wipeout. Come on, roll. Yeah, there you go. Okay, this time we won't drive off the edge through hubris. Easy does it. Hey, no problem. I'm not rolling over. Damn it. I wonder actually if a spoiler would have been a good addition to add to the kind of downforce in the loop-the-loop and stuff. Maybe try and keep the back under control a little bit. Oop. I mean, you're probably right, but a fox can dream, right? That's it. Just roll down the hill. That's no, I thought it was my elbow sticking out. Well, I guess it makes sense to take it out before replacing it, right? The elevator, that is. Okay, so there's a little bit of a run up. Okay, made it up there. Oh, and that's why we up the brake pressure. But yeah, I can see why that's knackered you out after the week. Oh no! Okay, well at least we don't have to do the loop-the-loop again. This is now like an only upstream. Yeah, there's gonna be more of those noises. Strangely, I do not make those noises when I'm driving normally. Probably because I don't really drive in a similar way to this. The roads I drive on are a lot less exciting. For better or worse. Fine. Oh, I keep cutting those too close. I also keep thinking the left headlight is my like elbow on the windshield. I work in an architecture office, Wing Wing. I can't call myself an architect legally, but I work for one. I'm hoping to move to something a bit more public sector. Hopefully somewhere a bit slower, but also somewhere with a bit more money, as paradoxical as it sounds. So I'm kind of at the other end of your job. I'm the guy who comes to you and says, we want this elevator in here. Or one of the people who does it. Okay, right around there. Okay, what's that? Oh wait, hold on. Let me just do this. First, let's reset the cosmetic damage. Okay, we're about a third of the way up. That's not terrible. I'm just going to take a quick holiday snap. It does actually. It does look like I just had a mousetrap. I hadn't even thought of that. I don't think I've ever actually played the mousetrap board game. I know my family never owned it, but I swear some of my friends owned it, and it was advertised all the time on TV. I mean, I'll do my best, Wing Wing. No promises. Well, this is going to make things more difficult. I don't know what that was. Yeah, belated seizure alert. Sorry if my view count suddenly crashes because half the people are dead. Oop, oop, oop. Oh, that's the worst. No, you gotta measure it properly, otherwise... Balls. Speaking of measuring properly... Oh, come on. Oh, that's not quite what I wanted. Everything's stopped except for the front wheels, even though I've got the brakes on. That wheel is still spinning. I've got the brake and the handbrake on. We're fine. We've just Austin Powers it a little bit. We're getting traction somewhere. Hey, what if we now reverse? Okay. Oh! Are we rising up there for a second? I think we found the problem with the Isetta. It's only a small one, but it's a problem nonetheless. I think we're gonna have to head back to Mexico. We're gonna have to get a car with a slightly wider wheelbase. I think we're gonna have to go for the 65 Mini again. It's fine. I mean, pistons just weigh the engine down, really, when you think about it, Shadow. They're more of an optional extra rather than a necessity to actually make the car move. Yeah, I should have installed a winch. That's really my fault. Oop. There was music there for a second.
Welcome back, comrade.
Thanks for having me back, Hannah. Really appreciate it. I think this car is what we want. Nice and wide wheelbase. Ah, yeah, of course. So we've got a spoiler and we've got a thing at the front. Excellent, excellent. This has got better acceleration. Let's get the turbo. Slap all-wheel drive on this bad boy. Get a 7-speed gearbox. A race diff. Carbon ceramics. Rally suspension will be fine. Full roll cage. Full weight reduction. Did I do the engine? No, I didn't. Let's get the straight full variable valve with the turbo. Okay, this should be pretty powerful. Probably slightly more powerful than the Isetta, but heavier. So it's swings and roundabouts, you know. More comfortable though, definitely. And with a wider track, we should be chilling when it comes to crossing over those areas. Okay, let's turn that off because we're going to be idling for quite a bit. Oh, and we want really sticky tires. Yeah, 510 kilowatts. Quite literally almost a kilowatt per kilo. Yep, that's there. Put that there. Let's raise this up a bit. Increase that. Yeah, 130 is fine. Look, we're never going to really reach our top speed, so we might as well get as much downforce as we can. Otherwise, I think we're pretty chill. Pretty Gucci, as the kids say these days. Okay, we ready. To go. Once more, we face the tower. But this is the third time. And you know what they say about the third time? It should probably work, hopefully. Fingers crossed. No promises, though. Pretty sure that's what they say. Not used radio. Love that channel. So many chill hits on that one. I don't remember turning off the radio, but I guess I did. It is very depressing just hearing nothing in the loading screen. Tower! Does this work? Barely. If I don't mess it up, it works fine. That was entirely on me. Okay, now we're in precision mode now. Ooh, almost too many beans! Almost, but not quite. Yeah, maybe too many beans. I think we're on to something here. Okay, there we go. Definitely a good width. That'll be useful later. Oh, hell yeah. We almost did the whole loop-de-loop. I mean, you could probably, if you snuggle correctly, you could probably do your email responsibilities at the same time. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to do that necessarily, but I don't think they have to be mutually exclusive. Well, it's definitely a lot easier getting up there in this than it was in the Isetta. But these are a little bit harder to get around. It's not quite as tight. See, this is why this is a good car to move gold, bullion, and money around the place, or just logistics in general. Because it's so nimble. Really try and dull the engine response a little bit in third gear. Ow. This kind of thing in BeamNG Drive would be really rough. Where, like, you'd have to consider how hard you landed after each jump. You know, if you took the corner too close, you might accidentally damage your rear axle or whatever. Is Driven to Destruction just like a demolition derby? I forgot I was in third gear when I did that. Luckily it worked out fine. Oh no! It's fine. I had faith. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, we would have been stuffed. Come on, get on the thing. There we go. Oh, interesting. That was like the ultimate endurance race. So close to nailing that. Why? What happens if I do this? It's gonna be on the ground, isn't it? Oh man, it's annoying. Ow. The real kick in the teeth for this level is just the lack of checkpoints. The fact that you can't like save at least some of your progress up the tower. Okay, that's very funny and pretty impressive. I mean, I guess it's a testament to how well built the engine is. Nope, that's not. Why did I think that was the gear shift? That's never been the gear shift. Ah, it was an old ladder frame. But that does make sense then. That was close. Let me around the corner. Punch butt cheeks a little bit. Okay, I'm back. If I don't get it this time, I might just call it here in terms of attempting this, and it might just be a stream on its own. Where one night we just try and do this. But I don't think I'm mentally prepared for that stream to be today. Luckily I am wearing black trousers currently. Ooh. Okay, what's the go here? Ow. That was a dragon. This does not look like it's gonna be fun. Yeah, sorry, everyone say sorry, dragon. Sorry. I was gonna jump at the end. Then we go down this bananas thing. Over this bananas thing. Then up that thing? Oof. Okay, this is gonna be pretty expert difficulty. Not that the rest of it was like a walk in the park. Okay, so we can do that. I'm on the talk. Actually, the best thing about this mini, I've realized, is that ridge in the middle of the bonnet. It is perfect for things like this, where you just need to, like, make sure it's straight down the middle. Okay, we may not have had as much suspension travel as I thought we had. Can you imagine doing this in real life with an offset driver's position? You'd just do that straight away. Hold on, do we have drone mode? No, we don't got photo mode. That's tolerable, I guess. What are we running into? Oh, another dragon. Sorry, dragon. I think we're halfway up, though. Maybe slightly less than halfway up. We did pretty well. Pops is definitely in a predicament. Let's see if Fops can get out of it. I haven't actually tried. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. In this episode of twitch.tv/Commander Zhao, Zhao gets in a sticky situation. Will he prevail? Tune in to find out. Yeah, nothing. Nothing! I think we're going to call it there for that one. Because, no bueno. Yes, not gonna do it. Bam! Pow! Gracious! Or whatever the kind of Zhao taking a corner noise is. Goodness gracious. Ah, beans! My goodness. Good heavens! Papa Forza, I mean, the fact that it's got a custom image on it is kind of tempting. Valley del Rio Stunt Sprint Race. Oh, yeah. KD Dragway No Prep Night V 1.3. Lots of drag strips. HSK Car Meetup Highway. Let's try the sprint. Heavens to Betsy. And other such quaint phrases that I could probably see myself saying. Ah, flip. Yeah. I pretty much could. I've got a lot of marketable catchphrases. Because they're so lame that I don't think anyone else would say them. Let's go into Scary. Why not? And let's just hope that it's, you know, up to the challenge. Oh, it's so nice to have music in the loading screen again. Instead of just nothingness where you're left with your thoughts. Oh, the worst. That's a very tall gear shift there. Oop, hold on, let's just reposition that fan. There we go. Yes, oh! Oh, I wasn't doing anything. I don't know why I was losing control. Smell you later, losers! Alright, everyone, assume the brace position. Ah, it's fine. Casually take the corner. That looks like it's going vertical, I think. No, it's just very, very steep. I think I'm gonna overshoot the checkpoint. How far up does a checkpoint go? Oh! That's possibly an even worse outcome. Oh no, no, we've missed it. Oh! What am I hitting? It's just raining dust. See you later, losers. This is what you see when you're doing this. I can see on the minimap that I'm still traveling in a direction I don't necessarily want to. Oh, there's the finish. That wasn't so bad. Easy. I mean, that race is almost impossible for, like, the AI to do, because you get stuck at that end. Oh wait, no, they're actually doing it. Or at least some of them are. Illuminator is still stuck at that checkpoint we left them at. All the others seem to have figured it out. Well done them. Yeah, I'll give it a like. That's a pretty funky one. I mean, it's always fun when we get launched 200 meters in the air. Well, and then some. Probably more like a kilometer in the air. Here we go in line. Let's do some A-class street racing. You were probably just shell-shocked from falling from basically outer space to the ground. I mean, that would throw me off driving as well. Yeah, let's check out the BMW we did last night. I mean, yeah, your car would have, you know, started at full height and just pancaked. I can't remember if we took this online last week or the week before, whenever we did this. But I'm taking it online now. No, I think that's just going straight to the junkyard. You can pick it up from the junkyard and take it to your CMS workshop. Well, no, first it's going to the morgue to have your body removed. Then it's going to the scrapyard. Because there's no way in hell anyone survived that landing. I don't care how plush your suspension is. They must be due in for another car mechanic simulator pretty soon. Because what, before Car Mechanic 21, it was it 16 or 18? Or 17? It was a teen, but I can't remember what the number was. 18. So, in theory, Car Mechanic 24 would be the next one if we're just going off of a 3-year cycle. But there's got to be one pretty close to being on the horizon, I would imagine. The thing I'd like to see is a little bit more detail in the actual assembly of the engines and stuff. I mean, I know that's going to make more work for me, but I also know there's like a lot more that's involved in putting together an engine than what's shown in the game. Obviously I don't need it to be like a one-to-one, but I don't know, I feel like we're definitely missing some things. Hoses, yeah. That is a good one. Because you just kind of put the engine in and you don't have to connect that to anything else. Yeah, engine mounts would be a big one actually. But it's not like a huge addition, you don't have to route like a whole mess of cables or anything. But it's like really important to the engine swapping scene. That's a big part of Car Mechanic Simulator once you've kind of completed the campaign or just grown bored of it. Oh, bollocks. Wow, that Skyline annihilated that Bora. Yeah, more engine types, even things like diesel engines would be very interesting. We don't have spark plug. Oh, do they? I don't know if I encountered it now. Maybe more diesels then. They've got boxer engines, right? Again, I don't think I've ever encountered one, at least I can't remember doing it, but... Yeah, I figured it would be in the Porsche DLC. Just trying to think what other common engine types aren't included in the game. Because they've got the basics like inline, they had rotary in the DLC. Maybe a twin charged engine, like a turbo supercharged thing. Also, like, I think it'd be nice to have more detail in the handling area, not just in the engine. So, like, perhaps to do with tuning the suspension, just so, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, fork mechanic. I was gonna say fork mechanic lift sim. Obviously, that's not right. Fork lift stream or lift stream would be nice. Or even if it was less like industrial mechanic. Because if you're looking at like tractor engines and stuff, I think you'd get some pretty interesting things. Like one of the more interesting engines I know of is a tank engine, which has opposing cylinders. Like that'd be fascinating to work on. Gas turbines would be very interesting to work on too. There's a nice looking NSX, well done. Not quite as timeless as my car, but nice nonetheless. There should be forklift or just like warehouse racing game. Where it's like OSHA's worst nightmare. It's just you driving around in realistically modeled and simulated forklifts. Maybe have it like an underground street forklift racing scene. Oh, damn it! So you can like put sick body kits on it and stuff. I'd get behind that game for sure. I thought you were another racer. There is a tank mechanic game. I feel like I own it, but I'm not sure. Like I got it from a Humble Bundle or something. And I think that could be interesting in terms of like the engines in there. Oh yeah, there is a mech mechanic, isn't there? I mean, Car Mechanics Sim, I don't know if that's the first one, but there are so many sim games these days. I feel like the big one that really launched it, the genre to more broad appeal, was either Farming Simulator or Truck Simulator, or probably a combination of the two. Is it still a big thing, or has most of the community moved over to the sequel? Yeah, I do actually like this car a lot. Yeah, I figured as much. But you know, it's often the case where the people will just kind of stick with the older one because it's got either more content or things have been changed that they don't like in the new one. Yeah, and then you've got more specific ones like Alaskan Road Truckers or Mud Runners, Snow Runner, for the more kind of off-road delivery stuff. That's pretty impressive. The fact that they just haven't abandoned they didn't just abandon ETS. And it sounds like it's still got a big community behind it as well. It reminds me a lot of the Paradox games, in that, like, Hearts of Iron or whatever, City Skylines just keeps getting DLC. Or kept getting DLC, I should say, in City Skylines case. Actually, I want to take that out on the road again. That was really fun. Damn. That's a big undertaking, totally redoing the UI. And I could see that going really badly as well. Because there'd be a lot of people in the community who are like, this is how it's meant to look. This is how it looked, and this is how it's meant to look. I'm used to it. I've played 2,000 hours in the game with it looking like this. Don't change it. So good on them for like actually jumping in there and doing it. Hell yeah. Lowrider trucks. That's gonna be me. Speed bumps beware, it's your boy. Yeah, range physics can really be a big thing. I remember when I first played Horizon 2, the range was fine enough on the windshield. But then when they did, what was it, Storm or whatever, the Storm expansion of Horizon 2, and they redid the rain for that map, that was very cool. Very good looking rain. Though I still think Drive Club might have slightly better rain physics on their windshields. Stars to the skyboxes? Oh, they didn't have stars before? It's a big plus then. Can we beat a Diablo? Let's find out. fun when you don't have any engine swaps on the car. It's almost as bad when you've only got the Turbo Rally engine as an engine swap. Go for it, Lex Tilt? The Lex Tilt? Go for it. Yeah, that was the engine I was rocking on the Mini Cooper we were driving for the Tower Challenge. I got 400 kilowatts out of that thing in the end. It's definitely, I prefer that definitely to the Turbo Rally. The Turbo Rally is just a very boring engine, I think, because it's just in everything. Like, it's perfectly adequate, it does the job, it's pretty quick. It's a bit boring. There you go. I'm not surprised that it's from that for some reason, but I didn't know it either. I do wish there were more engine swaps that were like below the class or like separate to it or something. Like, could I put the Turbo 4 in this car, for example? Or in the Diablo or whatever. I also find it weird that I can't front-wheel drive swap a rear-wheel drive engine car. A rear-wheel drive car. Yeah, it's all to do with licensing. I mean, that's why you get some of the new cars, like the new Hyundai electric cars are just really nerfed in terms of their engine swaps, for example. Whereas other electric cars that have come out will have the Rimac engine in them, for example. So it's clearly a choice by the brands more than it is by the developers. I imagine if the developers had their way, you could put basically any engine in any car, give or take. Because it'd be more fun and get more people to play the game. But, yeah, ultimately it's down to the license owners. I didn't even know that was an option until now. That's what I know. It's one of the few cars in this game that I can see myself going, yeah, I could own this. Does any car have a W16 swap option? I imagine it'll only be the Bugattis, right? Yeah, I figured as much. I could see, like, if they still had, like, the Volkswagen Touareg, I could see that having a W16 swap. I mean, speaking of Volkswagens, and going back to our previous conversation about car mechanic, I would really get behind the idea of having a VR engine in Car Mechanic Simulator, because it's kind of like an inline, kind of like a V6, but it's different to both. Yeah, it is nice that there's an i5. Is there an i3 as well? I think there is. Oh, the California overcooked it there. Not last, baby! You love to see it. I'd also love to see things like hybrid engines as well. I know it wouldn't be an enormous difference, but I just think it would be interesting if you could get into just more unusual engine configurations. It's the same for automation, right? I just want things that are a bit different. A bit quirky. Yeah, V4s. Absolutely. I would love a V4. Or a V2, like the Morgan 3-wheel. Like, I'm sure there's a reason why V4s don't exist. Is it a Lancia that has the V4? Like, I'm sure there's a reason why the V4 is not more common than it is. I knew it. I knew there'd be a reason why you'd know that off the top of your head. But I would like to kind of be able to learn that myself. As well as maybe dabble in some alternate history and maybe fix the problems that the V4 engine has. Oh, gracious. That California is going to regret not having the roof up for that. Boxopedia strikes again. Until next time, citizens. When you need me most, Foxopedia will be there. The random Fox facts. The 512 does look nice in white. I mean, I feel like a 512 in white is like the ultimate 80s car, now that I think about it. White on the outside, bit of white powder on the inside. Perfect 80s car. Yeah. Sorry. Oops, someone else had a bit of an oopsie daisy. Hey Ford, how you doing? I have a pretty surface level knowledge in a lot of things, including cars. Like, I don't know much about... I couldn't take one apart and put it together, that's for sure. I'm better than I was, thanks to Car Mechanic Simulator and actually poking around digital cars and, you know, taking off covers and putting things back in. But, I'm more interested, I guess, like in the idea of cars. Like the design and the not quite the product choices behind them, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't particularly care for the technicalities necessarily, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. We'll do one or two more. But in a different car this time. We could do another Beamer, maybe. It's basically the same. Back at the Neon Cat Beamer. Apparently I used to do the same way back when I was like 2, maybe 3 years old. With my grandfather, he had a workshop out back and we went to live with him for a little bit. While my mum was pregnant with my brother, as they were knocking down and rebuilding the house where we were. And apparently I used to kind of go in there and just kind of, you know, bang a hammer or whatever. I'd say I'm definitely more handy with computers than I am with, like, mechanical bits and bobs and stuff like that. I mean, even then, it was only, what, 2-3 months ago when I put together the new stream computer that I actually had built a computer for myself. Oh, come on. That was a bit of a rip-off. I got lagged into there. Okay, this is not as good as it looked on paper. I feel like we're definitely towards the tail end of barn finds though, right? Or like finding antiques for that matter. I feel like there's a lot more awareness that things are worth money now. For better or worse, people just don't throw things out anymore. Like, there's a bit of biff going on up here between 7 and 4th, I think. And that kind of pack ahead of us. Yeah, I was in the hospital this afternoon before I came home. I was watching some Antiques Roadshow with my mum because that was basically the only thing on. So we were just watching that. And it did make me think that there's a lot more kind of awareness nowadays of what things are worth and that there is money in this object. Excusey. See you later, idiot.
I'm on power, baby. I'm on power.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I can even see that in... as you know, I've got a bit of a taste for film cameras, like old-fashioned take a shot and then wind it on film cameras kind of thing. And... like, the stuff that I bought, I feel like I couldn't buy again for the same price that I paid for just 3 years ago. I think that's because there's been more people becoming aware of that kind of stuff, or I don't know. I think there's more people, firstly, and there's more people with money as well. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I went to look for toys that I had or my brother had as a child, they would probably be going for a lot of money because people my age, you know, you're in your 30s, maybe you're married, maybe you're not, like myself, but there's a good chance that you now have money and you can actually buy the toy that you didn't have before. You can get, you know, get that Tonka truck or that Transformer you're looking for. I mean, look at Pokemon cards, right? Or just, I mean, probably other cards as well, but Inadequate might be able to talk more to that. But Pokemon cards are crazy expensive these days. Particularly if you want like a good condition one. Really rough and tumble racing crew we got here. I mean, everything's getting expensive. I think it's partly the... Like, I mean, I don't know if it's purely because of this, but didn't Logan Paul, and maybe some others as well, but didn't Logan Paul do a lot of, like, Pokemon card stuff around that time as well? Which may have brought awareness to how much they were worth. Got it. I mean, sure, it'd be cool to own, you know, like a 10 Pikachu or whatever, but ultimately it's just a piece of paper. I'm not going to be paying, you know, thousands of dollars for it. I do also wonder how much of it is actually worth that much, you know? Like, how many people are actually spending thousands of dollars on Pokemon cards, or is it just kind of worth that much on paper, but when you actually go and try and sell it, it turns out that no one actually wants to spend that much money for that card. Do you collect cards like Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards where they're actually used in a game kind of thing? Because I know you collect basketball and I think baseball cards, because I've seen those on your Twitter. But do you collect like playing card? I mean, do you play games with baseball and basketball cards? Okay, Pokemon and Magic, yeah. One of the more annoying streams that I've ever been in was a stream where someone was talking about Magic Commander, which apparently is a variant of Magic. Magic the Gathering, that is. And it was really hard to watch because they were mentioning Commander like every, you know, couple of minutes, and I'm like, huh? What? Huh? Because some people do refer to me as Commander, which is, you know, a little bit annoying, but it's fine, it's in the name. My fault. So I'm like, oh, is that me? Huh? Pokemon cards just went straight by me. I think I was maybe a little bit young, but I was in the right age to watch the anime and be interested in Pokemon. But because I never watched, like, before school cartoons as a child, which that's just not what we did in the household, just completely went past me. And I've never had any particular interest in Magic. I did do Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Star Wars cards for a little bit. I don't know where those ended up. Oh, thank goodness we were transparent. another pretty good car. Like, it feels very well balanced. Doesn't feel like you're holding on by the seat of your pants, frantically trying to make sure it doesn't swerve off a cliff or whatever. Outside of... I'm trying to think what I collect. I think the only thing I've really collected in any meaningful way is film cameras. And I guess... I don't know, do you collect books? Because I do have a substantial collection of Cold War non-fiction books. But I don't know if that's a collection or just like... I don't know, a library? I don't know what you'd call it. Gee, they were a lot closer behind me than I thought. Point horror books. That sounds vaguely familiar, point horror, but I can't place it. In my teens, what was the book that I would go to? Oh, what was the... There was, I was big into some of the spy fiction stuff. So there was the Alex Rider series, which was maybe towards the earlier part of my teens. But then there was something else called Cherub, I think was the other one. An older, kind of slightly rough and tumble version of Alex Rider, which I was kind of big on. Okay, at least one more. Oh, we could break out the Sonic Type R. No, the Civic Type R. It is my favorite Civic, after all. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Because I go through, like, waves of this obsession, right? Like, from years 5 to 6... No, maybe 5 to 8, I was obsessed with cars. And then I kind of... Oh, these look kind of like Goosebumps books, actually. Obviously, a different thing, but they look like a similar kind of flavor. Were they kind of horror of sorts? Well, I guess point horror does indicate that they were maybe a little bit spooky. Probably not love stories. I think I read a few, but the trouble with me was I had a really overactive imagination as a child. Like, I would get spooked quite easily by things. Some of them, it's like totally justified looking back. Like, I was really... What year was I in? I think I would have been either 10 or 11. And for a kid's birthday party, we went to see Spider-Man 2. And that was fine, right up until the scene where they try and cut Dr. Octavius's arms off when he's unconscious in the hospital. That was a bit much. I had to tap out then. So I think... I do remember we did... I would say we, you know... Mum read to me or whatever some of the Goosebumps books. Or we read... Or I read to Mum, I can't remember. But... I think I was kind of susceptible to nightmares as a result, because I was easily spooked. You know, I could take an idea and just run with it. In my head. This is another car from this game that I would absolutely 100% own if I could. I know it's in manual, but I can learn. The only thing I'd want to do is try and replace the stereo there in the bottom left with like some sort of Android Auto thing. That's the only thing I want to do, I think. Oop, I'd also want to read the map a bit closer. That was close. Sucker. I've never been particularly big into the Harry Potter books. Like, they were great at the time when I first read them. But like I've never reread the Harry Potter books, to be honest. I don't really reread books in general, actually, now that I think about it. If it's a storybook, I basically read it once and then I'm really not interested in reading it again. Sometimes I'll reread particular parts of the book, like a particularly cool battle scene or, you know, whatever. But like, I know some people it's not uncommon to like start to reread Harry Potter, for example. Nah. Which is weird though, because I will rewatch movies quite regularly. Hell, I'll rewatch YouTube videos regularly. Oh no, the fox fell off the monitor. No! Survive! Okay. Fox is safe. Oh, yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah, do you go down the right path, turn to page 90. The left path, turn to page 26 or whatever. Yeah. Choose your own adventure books. Yeah, those are great. I forgot about those. That must be really hard to write as an author, though. Because you'd have to... You'd have to plan it out first, right? There's going to be, you know, X number of choices, and this is how it's all going to work. Like, draw a family tree kind of in reverse, right? Have one start point and multiple finish points. And then how they all connect. And then kind of, with an idea for a story, you know, you're in Frankenstein's castle or whatever. And then work out how everything fits together after that. Because I could see that could be really rough. Try and figure out how all the pieces fit together. I hate the invisible cars at the beginning. Getting overtaken by a Rango, that is the ignominy of it all. I think that's a word. The tree. Out of all the things I could hit, it had to be the tree. Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing, actually, jigsaws. I've only recently found any interest in them. Was it the last Bible study? No, I think the 2 Bible study weekends away before the last one. There was a puzzle at the place we were staying at, and they just captivated the group, including myself. You had like 6 people standing around trying to put it together. It was good times. Just to kind of sit with the puzzle and kind of look at it, and there's something so satisfying about getting a piece to fit in a spot you've been looking at for a while. Thinking about it now, it's the same thing that I really liked about maths. That kind of problem-solving part. Like, I've never particularly liked the actual mathematical part, but there was some real satisfaction in, like, figuring out the answer and getting it right. Ooh, that was actually a pretty sick drift. If it was planned. Oh, excuse me. I guess I've just never thought of puzzles as icebreakers before then. Not last! Yes! I think we can all agree though. Oh, excuse me. I think we can all agree that the best toy back in the day was either Lego or a sandpit. So choice. Digging in the sand, so much fun. Oh, missing out, Shadow. But then again, you lived on a farm, so that's kind of probably as good, if not better. You got to ride around in like real tractors and stuff. We got an excavator kind of thing with like 2 levers so it would actuate the bucket arm. Greatest Christmas for a long time. I don't think I ever had a pedal car. Actually no, maybe I did. I had one that you... Was it a pedal car? I'm trying to think. I had a kind of fire engine that you sat on top of, but I can't remember if it was foot powered or like pedal powered. I have to keep turning, but I also want to say sorry so it doesn't murder me. Ooh, yellow Range Rover. So this was a red fire engine. It had a steering wheel in the front, like on top of the front. There was something else though. It had a like an old-timey siren on it, where you had to, like wound the back to make the noise. I don't know if it had anything else. I think that was basically it. I don't know if it had a ladder or not. I don't think so. But I mean, I think I've mentioned before, as a kid, the real kind of toy was Lego. That was my jam. Could not get enough of this stuff. Oh, all 4 wheels in the air. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. Like, even now, I think one of the ultimate jobs you can possibly get would have to be one of those Lego experts, are they? The people that just build Lego, that's their job. That would be tight. Hanging out in the void, you and me. Like online, or were you just in like the cupboard? Hell yeah. And you had a phone as well? That's the height of sophistication. I remember having my mind blown when I was in my aunt's car and she had a phone in her car. Like, what? Cars don't phone. Phone go in house. Phone no go in car. I think, now that I think about it, that was probably the first mobile phone I'd ever seen. Maybe a Cayman. Cayman might be a nice way to finish off. Yeah, let's go Cayman. Styling and profiling. Absolutely. Huge plastic bricks with a plastic breadstick? What do you mean? Explain yourself, sir. Ooh, encrypted. Oh, yeah. Classic. I think that's actually what the phone in her car looked like. Maybe not quite that size. I think it was... It was kind of like an old-fashioned Nokia brick phone. And it had a special mount in the car, if I remember correctly. I remember nothing about the Disney on Ice that I was going to see with her. I only remember the car phone. My apologies, Aunt Manda. Ooh, almost sick. Almost. It is very strange, like, the things you remember, right? Because they're often such inane details. Like whether my aunt had a car phone, or, you know, whether your aunt had a Range Rover or not, that kind of stuff. But they often stand out so clearly as well. For whatever reason, when you saw them, your mind was like, we are going to never forget this. This is now a permanent part of our DNA. Oh, the, Clubman? Oh, okay. No, I know, yeah, I recognize the... I just didn't actually know there was a... I thought that was the problem. I didn't know there was a station wagon of the original Mini. I thought they'd kind of just gentrified that to be the now Clubman. What is now the Clubman? There you go. I mean, speaking of which, that reminds me about, surely you guys would have ridden in those backward-facing rear seats that cars used to have? I just remembered about those. I remember thinking they were great fun. Because they were just so different. I don't think they're safe. And I think that's partly why they don't exist anymore. It was just fascinating being in a totally different perspective, right? You know, it's as if you're reversing the entire way. Well, from your perspective. And if they're reversing out of a car space after you've gotten in, it's like you're driving out. So cool. I think the last car I saw with them was a Tesla Model S. I think when I was in California, I saw that you could get an option to have a set of rear-facing seats. Ooh, that sounds nice. Oh, speaking of which, I saw a new Lotus. One of their electric sedans, I think? I think it's a sedan. It wasn't an SUV. And it definitely wasn't a sports car. I think it was a sedan in the traffic on, what would that be, Wednesday night coming home from the hospital. I saw a, oops, see a Dodge. I saw this radical looking thing in the traffic, and I'm almost certain it was one of the new Lotus electric sedans. It looked pretty cool. I appreciate your restraint. I've definitely never been inside a Lotus. I don't think I've ever been inside anything that could be vaguely considered a supercar. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I've been inside anything that's on like a Need for Speed playlist. Like, I haven't even been inside of a Peugeot 206 or something like that. I think. I may have been inside a Holden Monaro, like a car show or something, so that might be the closest thing. For that sweet heel-toe braking, accelerating, clutching action. No, I will not rewind. Oh, damn it. Overshot. There we go. Another not lost. Just thinking about it, they put the garage in a really terrible spot. Like, a lot of races seem to go straight through that line. And the garage is just right there. So you could be leaving the garage and then just taking it out. Thank you for the GG. I think I did pretty well too. I think that is quite literally one of my favorite emotes, because it just looks the most professionally done. I don't mind the heart one by any stretch, but I think the quality kind of falls off a little bit after that. I don't mind the dancing one either, though. There was something cute about the bouncing from side to side. The final race. 3 Toyota Supras. I do like the Cayman. I've never been a huge fan of the Boxster, but I do like the Cayman. Or the 718, whatever you call it nowadays. I've definitely grown to like Porsche a lot more than I used to. I used to really not be a fan. Okay, that was a little bit... Okay, well, because the truck kicked out, because everyone ran into it. Okay, we've bollocksed this up. Let me go back a bit further. Thank you. Don't know why we had to sit there for like 10 seconds listening to rewind noises. Okay, now for operation, let's just hope we finish. Welcome back from work, Drift King. How was work? Oh, how's your week full stop? Wow, you whiffed that hard, man. An oil accident. Okay. Like with cooking oil, or like with motor oil, or other oil? Baby oil? Motor oil. The old motor oil whoopsie daisy. Bet you that wasn't fun to clean up. Get out of it, Liddy. Yeah, we're definitely not going to finish. But we're not coming last though. Damn! That's a lot of motor oil. You can at least see the finish line, that's something. In a situation like that, Drift, do you just... We've lost 200 liters of oil, that's just how it is. Or do you try and, like, rescue some of it? Oh, what the hell, I can do another one. I'd be tempted to try and rescue it, but I could see it, like, being of a lesser quality oil then. You know, like having the stuff from the floor picked up in it. Maybe the MR2? Actually, this 1 Series Coupe seems like it could be sick. Let's try that. Been a big night for BMW fans in the twitch.tv/CommanderJow online racing series. Okay. Seem to be 1M. Couldn't say M1 because then that's already spoken for, I guess. I swear I hit Beamer. Huge wing on that RX-7. Sounds like someone needs to go to bed, Shadow. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate your patronage, but bed is calling. This will be the last championship, though, if that's any help in making a decision. Yeah, I'm not too far behind you there. Maybe 4 or 5 cylinders out of 8. Ah. Yeah, that does complicate matters. Perhaps a pre-tea nap then. Into the bushes. Deliveroo actually failed over here, if I remember correctly, which is weird, given that it's kind of named after an Australian animal. Like, we've got Uber Eats and all that kind of stuff, but for whatever reason, Deliveroo just didn't take off. Headed to the other side. Not gonna lie, if I actually had this hair in real life, I would hate this fringe. I hadn't even read your comment. I was just admiring my hair in the OBS window, seeing it bounce and all that kind of stuff. Because I could just see that getting into my eye. I don't mind it, but I could just really see this fringe getting all up in my eye. And not a fan of that. I think I'd definitely be more inclined to have like a can't quite get the camera capture. More kind of like a mullet, where it's longer at the back rather than the front. But like, I didn't like the hair to begin with. I kind of left it there because, well, it's the default hair and it looked weird with no hair. But it has grown on me. Pun not intended. You know, being hair and all. Business up the front, tidy the back. Ugh! Yeah, something like that. I gave my persona my actual height, but outside of that, it's very much not a true persona. I mean, I have all my own limbs that my mother gave me. My tail is significantly shorter. I have 0 combat experience. Never even left the planet that I was born on. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a bit of silver in the hair. I say to myself, trying to reassure my own kind of hair situation. Let's get a drink. This BMW M1M, sorry, not M1, is doing pretty well. Who is around to raid after this? Got a few people. Any second now. You'll be Family Guy death posed somewhere in your house with little Zs going up from your head. Now, it's not great, but, you know, when the fox needs to sleep, the fox needs to sleep. Sorry, Daytona, but take away that game. Game of pushy shovey. For some reason I'm really locked in for this race. I don't know why. Not even the most complicated one. I've been incredibly tired this week. I'm not sure why. I think it's a shock of going back to work tomorrow. Oh dear. Speaking of being tired this week. Needs to go to the body mechanic and have a checkup. Yeah, well, I mean, working before is a pretty good excuse to being tired this morning, I'll be honest. It's better than my excuse, which is... don't know. Well, I went to bed at... I don't know, 11 last night? And I woke up at 7:30? And I almost couldn't get out of bed. It's not exactly a great look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the last one. Just two tired fopses hanging out. Where my tired fops is at, right here, Your Honor. Just hanging out in the void. Me and chat hanging in the void. What's good? Void time. Yeah, if we see something that looks like a cat walked over your keyboard, we'll know that someone's honk shoeing. Any second now. I'm also conscious that like the ads are just about to start, so I need to wrap up the stream in the next minute and 50. The trouble is there are no English VTubers playing Forza Horizon 5 right now. Always well behaved. Do I want to raid the Boofer? I think so. It's always a pleasure to raid them. Alright, thank you very much for joining me tonight. If you like what you see, please, of course, drop a follow. Otherwise, please check out the following socials, my Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky for updates on what's happening in the stream, and my TikTok, Clip Manager YouTube channel, and Instagram for clips from previous streams. Like any self-respecting streamer, I do have a Discord, so please check that out. I will be back in a little bit around 20 hours, and we'll be back in Bright Falls to play some more Alan Wake. Until then, I hope you have a good end to your week, a good sleep if your name is Shadow, and a good start to your weekend if that makes it in time. Until then, let's go say hi to Boofer. Alright, cheerio.